Well, how are you doing there? It's just one of those days today, my friends. It's just one of those days today. Today we are going to be reacting to the Poor Man Podcast Reacts. It's my homie. I bet him and I chill. We get along. Great time for the dogs to start barking. Great to start streaming. Thanks, Brutus. Shut up, please. I am trying to pay the rent here. Fucking dogs. Anyways, if you could, you like the video, enjoy it, go give homeboy a little sub, a little like. I'm telling you, I'm trying to promote his videos like he's not fucking leaps and bounds above me. Anyways, let's go ahead with the video. See what we got here, boys.
Dating. I love these types of videos because when you're just talking off of speculation, and to me it seems like a lot of it is pretty obvious, but when you're talking off of speculation, because it makes people feel uncomfortable, they will try to attack you to delegitimize what you're saying. But when you have the data and the statistics right in front of you, you just become the messenger. So you get to put your hands up and go, hey, I'm just the guy delivering the message. Don't attack.
10 seconds in. So we're either going to build a fan base or we're going to get rid of the few that we have. Either or. Massive day for the unemployed. Achievement. New achievement.
The numbers are right here.
This is a chart showing how men perceive women's attractiveness. Looks
Only
pretty
5.
normal.
Yeah.
Men tend to
women's
perceive
gonna...
women's
Woohoo,
attractiveness
woohoo.
on a standard bell
Okay.
curve.
Yeah.
On the scale of 1 to 5, the average is 2.83, with the most common rating being 3.
That's actually not bad because that means that most men consider most women to be above average. So the average man sees the average woman as above average. That's actually pretty good.
8% are above the 4, and 7.
And listen, I don't know if we perceive it. I mean, it's just, might be not this head perceiving it. Maybe that head. That's what I think is perceiving it.
15% below a 2. All pretty normal.
I bet you it's so
And
skewed.
here is how women perceive men.
I knew it was going to be skewed, but I didn't know it was going to be that skewed. Dang. So the average woman out of 5 considers the average man to be beneath a 2, less than a 2. So expand that to like the typical rate.
I have to kind of agree with women here because men just don't give a shit sometimes, you know? Just roll out of bed and we'll go to like a job interview. They just don't care, man. Because why? Why are we going to care? We're going to put that time and effort in not to get the attention that, well, not to get the attention that women want. Like, the women want the attention. We have learned our lesson the hard way, really, because you go and you try and then you just get shot down and you end up fucking jerking off that night anyways. So, I mean, let's keep going. He makes good points. I like this guy.
Yourself out of 10 kind of idea. Most women see the average man as below a 4. Dang.
Yeah, I mean, well, if it's top of the scale.
It doesn't look so good for men.
No.
Taking this at face value, only 1 in 6 men are above average in an absolute sense. And if we translate this plot to something more familiar, like IQ, then we have a world where women think 58% of men are brain damaged.
So basically,
Isn't that the blind leading the blind there?
you got to be top 20% of men to be considered above average. Like, that's what a lot of
Don't
people
forget, you got to
say
make
that
$1 million
type
a
of stuff.
year.
When we dive a little deeper, though, it becomes clear this isn't a men are too ugly to date thing. It's a men are too ugly to hook up with thing. This is OkCupid, one of the biggest dating sites in the world.
Looks like, why do I always draw blanks when I'm live streaming? Nelk Boys. Salim. It looks like Salim.
And this is Christian Rudder, the former CEO of the platform. In 2009, looking to promote the platform, Rudder and his team began to release data from the site.
Damn, I am just pausing the shit out of the video today. I'm sorry, but we're here to be entertained, right? And you ain't got nothing to do. Like I said, massive day for the unemployed. Why is he making this video sound ominous and scary? Like, doesn't he seem like he's about to tell a scary story or something like that?
Oh no.
Giving us an insight into what the dating market really looks like.
And then a wild man appeared.
See, to be honest, I think that there are certain things that men were never supposed to know about women, but with social media, men have access to what women actually think without like bumpers set into place. And there are a lot of dudes that are becoming very black pill because of the realization. Like, I think that historically speaking, men have operated.
I'm still not 100%, like, this is gonna sound stupid, but I haven't the black pill to me is so new. Like it's a new vocabulary term that I don't really know what it is. I guess the closest I could assume to it is like the men protesting in Minneapolis. That would be a black pill guy, I think. I know red pill, and then what? White and blue? Man, I make my own assumptions.
With women having a halo effect, so just the idea that they might be pure or honest was just given to women because they're women. But with men having access to this type of information, it's starting to change the way they look at a lot of this type of stuff.
Behind closed doors.
Like socially,
In
like
2014, he released the book
nationwide.
Dataclysm, summarizing
I
much of the
didn't know
data
he
with
said
doors.
I'm
This type of
sorry.
info or honest was just women actually think without like bumpers set into place. And there are a lot of dudes that are becoming very black pill because of the realization. Like I think that historically speaking, men have operated with women having a halo effect. So just the idea that they might be pure or honest was just given to women because they're women. But with men having access to this type of information, it's starting to change the way they look at a lot of this type of stuff.
Behind
I never had a book.
closed doors.
Like socially,
In
like
2014, he released the book
nationwide.
Dataclysm, summarizing much of the data revealed by the site. Within the book, Rutter displays the differences between how men and women view each other's attractiveness on the site. But when asked about it in an interview promoted
See, once again, I'm not one to tell anybody what to do because I ain't shit yet. But mark my words, I will be. Save this, clip this, save it. This guy, if he just picked up his energy a little bit, maybe a little more tempo, like I'm kind of falling asleep. The only person that's keeping me awake is Homeboy down here because he's the one giving a better commentary.
the book and platform, this is what he had to say.
Tinder, those curves move even further apart.
Uh-huh.
Match, they move closer together. The male curve barely moves.
Yeah.
It's really the female curve that moves around. The
Curve for her pleasure.
men kind of have the same curve on all three sides, and it's the female curve that moves around.
When OkCupid was acquired by the Match Group in 2011, Rutter got access to the rest of the Match Group's biggest platform's
Dang,
data.
all kinds
The
of
two
data.
biggest of which at the time, Match.com and Tinder, give us a lot of insight into what's really going on here.
Uh-huh.
Although charts or data were never posted, we can estimate based on what Rutter said. This is an estimate of how women perceive men on Match.com, and this is an estimate of how women perceive.
Wow, why do you think this is? Because the women have more control? I don't know how Match works. Match.com, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in either of them.
men
Fuck that shit.
on
I bet you it has to do with the fact that Tinder is more of a hookup website while
I knew he was gonna help me out. He's got my back.
Match.com seems to be more for connection. And I don't even know if it necessarily is anymore, but I know when it first came out, people were more interested in dating for longevity versus when by the time Tinder came out, boy, oh boy, we were already cooked. By that time, people were just looking for a place where they could get easy hookups, and Tinder just so happened to be that app.
Tinder.
Wait till Bumble let him
We
choose.
see that for women, as the dating site becomes more casual in nature,
Yeah.
the standards climb.
That makes sense.
Although people like to push the narrative that women are delusional and have too high standards, the data seems to say the relatively high standards are only for casual intimacy.
Yeah.
Which, when you consider
nailed
the
it.
additional risks women take on with intimacy, the relatively high standards seem reasonable. Essentially, women are thinking, if I'm going to take the risk of a casual hookup, you better be attractive.
Right. Yeah, but this is the big
I don't want to piss people off. I was gonna say, just keep drinking. Then you hook up with him. But that's not everybody. I apologize.
biggest problem with the sexual revolution. Before that, it was expected that you waited until marriage. And when you're looking for marriage, you date totally different, right? You're looking for a person that has more longevity. You're looking for a person that could potentially be the father to your kids. And because you care about that family structure, you're going to want him to stick around. So you're going to date for totally different things. Instead of things like fun, you're probably going to date more for stability. And instead of money, you're probably going to date more for morality.
Genetics.
Because you need that person to stick around. And money isn't a good determining factor of that, but their morality is. Now with dating being mostly about hooking up, like I think most people hook up and then
They look for other things that are long. No, I think with dating nowadays, like at one point it was just you would hook up with somebody and it would just be not even connecting at all whatsoever. And you would just hook up with that person to go talk to your girls or your dudes or your boys or whatever, and you guys would just want to talk about it and gossip about it. And then talk shit or talk the guy up or the girl up, you know? It wasn't even about the hookup itself. Nowadays, I mean, I'm a little bit older than the younger crowd, but like teenagers, I can't even imagine. I know that none of them are having sex anymore, but I mean, I don't blame them. It's hard to get along with each other the way everything is nowadays.
marriage or family comes significantly later, definitely after sleeping with each other nowadays. So yeah, of course, when you're dating for what you want versus what you should have, usually what you want is contrary to what is best for you. And so I think that this aspect of the sexual revolution has completely destroyed the fabric of society and the trust between men and women.
The
Agreed.
next question is then, what makes someone attractive?
Ooh, I had a thought. I am pausing the video so much today. I am sorry. I guess I am just riffing it today. I had a theory when I was young, a little bit younger. And I mean, nobody's proved me wrong yet. But say you have me, you have me, and then my boy are sitting right here, and we're looking at the same girl. And I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. And he's like, bro, she is not beautiful. Now, is it because you see the girl visually different? Or, oh yeah, okay, so she's beautiful because we're judging just on the looks. Do I see her visibly different, or is it because my wants, needs, or likes is different than his? Like, do you visually see people and things different than Joe or Bob? And we'll never know, because it's unlike walking in a man's shoes. You're never gonna see in a man's eyes.
To answer this question, I'd like to bring forward a study from 2016, looking at what women look for in a speed dating context. The study started by giving women a list of 6 traits and asking them to assign points to each trait based on how important it was to them.
Okay, I'm going to take a guess here. I'm going to guess physical attractiveness is 1. Let's see, ambition, intelligence, mutual. I'm going to say fun is number 2. I'm going to guess that ambition is 3. Probably intelligence at 4, because if you're not ambitious, being intelligent is just annoying to women because then you're just correcting them on everything, right? Like if you don't have your own passions, right? Then I'm going to think mutual interest as 5 and sincerity as 6.
I am going to take physical attractiveness number 1, ambition number 2, mutual interest. Well, actually, it depends on who's asking the girl. Like if you're asking, the girl is answering to impress, or if they're not being genuine, it's going to be different. But if you're talking to yourself in the mirror or something like that, it's going to be physical attractive 1, ambition 2, mutual interest 3, fun might be 3, sincerity and intelligence 5 and 6.
I think that if you're physically attractive and you're fun, women will assume sincerity.
The average distribution of points the women provided looked like this. All attributes given near even value.
But what's the actual
After
thing?
completing the dates, the women were asked to assign the points to the men at the dating event.
Well, that's going to be different. After the date, he didn't give us that stat before.
Then, which men they were going to see again. This is the chart displaying the actual distribution.
Yep, that looks about right. Physical attractiveness first, fun second. I'm actually surprised that mutual interest is 3rd. Yeah, but sincerity, I definitely guess that, because I think if you're attractive enough, most women will just assume that
lie
you're
to their
sincere,
face. They don't
and I
give
think
a
that's
fuck.
why players lie to women. But I ain't gonna lie, that shit is dwarfed when you look at sincerity compared to physical attractive. Like when you look at the size of stars, the sincerity is like the sun in the Milky Way galaxy. The physical attractiveness is like a star that's in the middle of the universe somewhere. But that's not surprising to me, though. That's why players lie when they
That's
talk.
a strange analogy there.
Physical attractiveness was by far the most important attribute. The amount of positive responses and level of physical attractiveness having an astonishingly large correlation coefficient of 0 pointness of a profile.
Yeah, well, you'll see those experiments where dudes will take an attractive guy and then like make a Tinder profile. And sometimes they'll say like, I'm attracted, or they'll call the women like pigs. Sometimes I've seen one where one dude said that he got arrested for sleeping with children, if you get what I'm saying. And the women would just kind of go tee-hee-hee and just ignore the fact that this
as
dude
long as he was attractive.
Offender. But you know, those are women that are on dating sites, so you know, you got to already take that with a grain of salt.
Confirming what a lot of men have recently begun to realize, physical attractiveness is just as important to women as it is for men. Women just don't admit it.
That makes sense.
Another thing I think most people aren't aware of is the effect of attractiveness is exponential. The 2011 study, What Makes People Click, Mate Preferences in Online Dating, looked at various traits to see what makes people attracted to each other. The study separated the 22,000 participants' facial attractiveness into deciles of attractiveness, with the top 10% getting separated into 2 groups, giving the top 5%.
I'm kind of like just veering off here because I feel like I'm being taught by the teacher with this guy's tone and his monologues. Blah, blah, blah. The only person that's keeping me here is homeboy. But I'm trying here. I'm trying.
Their own group. To no one's surprise, the study found attractive people were significantly more likely to receive messages and match requests.
Of course.
But the distribution was eye-opening. We see a steady climb in matches and messages as participants get more attractive until we get to the top 5%.
Damn!
Miles above the rest, the top 5% of men dominate in online.
Dang, so all the women are pretty much shooting for this percentage of men right here, the top 5. That's crazy. And people will say this type of stuff, and you know, other people will get offended by it, but when you're just looking at the data, again, just the messenger. It's all right here. And I think the bigger problem with this is because these are pretty much hookup websites, those women will then sleep with this top percentage of men because most men will consider even average women to be above average. So most of these men will sleep with a lot of those women that consider them to be attractive. And then those women will then start to think that these are the men that are going to want to be in a relationship with them, when usually that's not the case. So when you hear women kind of complaining online about men in general, usually they're talking about this group of men that they can't get to commit to them because this group of men can sleep with other women. And I'm not saying it's right for them to do that, but I'm saying they probably will. And this is my speculation here, but this is my theory. What will happen is women will try to deal with these men. These men will sleep with those women. Those women will become heartbroken, start making TikTok videos to appeal to these men to try to attack or pull these men down because women know they can't control these men. But
I don't think it's that complex. I think they just are speaking about the top 5% and then vaguely addressing the whole spectrum, and they don't, the guys at the bottom get the bad rep when they're making those TikTok videos. And then they're also sleeping with these men a lot easier because how often are they going to get an opportunity with this top 5%?
You know, that's just speculation. But in terms of women going after the top 5% of men, what more do you need to say right here?
By dating, seen as more than twice as desirable as a 90th percentile man. Data released from OkCupid touts similar, if not even more telling results, showing the exponential effects of physical attractiveness. Each percentile makes a bigger and bigger difference the closer you get to the top.
Yeah, but is that surprising? It's like,
I don't want the takeaway from this video to be that looks are the only thing that matter, because they're not. Another large contributor to a man's attractiveness is his social status.
And then another thing is that they're interviewing and taking these stats off of people that are going on a speed dating thing. Like only a certain percentage of women have the balls, let's say, to go out on speed dating. A lot of women are not that, just like men, are not that. They don't have that much like charisma, and they don't want to. They're shy, and I mean, I would go on a speed dating thing. I guess it depends. Has to be the right time and place, maybe. But like they're taking that stat from that demographic.
If we look again at the What Makes You Click study, we can see a large contributor to a man's perceived attractiveness is his occupation. Irregardless of a man's individual income, the industry he worked in had a large impact on if women attempted to match with him. This is a chart showing the attractiveness of different industries men in the study worked in, and my fuzzy best estimates of the average salary in those industries. As you can see, there's a correlation between the average salary in the industry and the attractiveness of it.
right.
But it's certainly not a one-to-one.
Yeah.
Industries like computer engineering, science, government, politics, and financial accounting make a large amount of money, but don't give the men in them much of an attractiveness boost.
Right.
Industries like firefighting, law enforcement, and military don't make a ton of money, but give the men in them large boosts in their attractiveness.
Yeah, pretty much because it shows or indicates to women that you're more capable of protecting them. Like, all of this stuff is very surprising. None of these graphs have been uniquely surprising to me, to be honest.
And over here, less attractive than being unemployed are service, hospitality, and labor.
Really?
That
Wait a second. Hospitality, as in waiters and bartenders? That can't fall into that because they kill it.
surprising. Y'all tripping now. But it's not surprising to me because there's this woman that I know that goes on these like dating websites and stuff. And I was talking to her and I was like, what if he works as a waiter at like a high-end restaurant? And she said, absolutely not. I was like, man, some of these dudes is killing it. They getting an automatic 18% gratuity on top of any tip you add, and those bills be like $300, $400. So if he's working at a higher end restaurant, he could be making some serious money. She said,
get some serious tail.
absolutely not. She did not care how much money he made.
Probably because
of the nature of his job, she would not.
because he sees so many females on a daily basis, and jealousy kicks in.
I deal with him.
And
It's
up
crazy.
here, in the corner, the highest paid and most attractive career option
Doctor?
for men, legal/attorney.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, I think this is because propaganda, like in every movie, the attractive guy is like the white collar guy, right? Like 50 Shades of Grey. If the guy in 50 Shades of Grey was a plumber, it would be more of a horror movie to women than it would be like a stimulating sexual kind of book or movie. So yeah, that isn't surprising to me either.
Maybe your parents were right about considering law school. Something I've heard discussed a lot over the last few years is how men get better with age while women only get less desirable. And while the former is true, the latter isn't. This is a
I gotta bounce off a little bit. I saw clips from the Golden Globes the other day, and no homo, I am not a homosexual, but I mean, I saw George Clooney. That motherfucker, I think, is 67 years old, and wow, he looked good. Like he hasn't aged one bit. Hey, it doesn't. I mean, he's got a little bit of gray, but damn, George.
chart showing the age of
Oh, I had a funny one too today. It was home is where you make it. It's like, dude, it's okay. You like to see homos naked? No. Home is where you make it.
which men and women are most desirable to each other at every age. The thing that sticks out the most is that men's preferences don't really change as they age.
Yeah.
Always being the most interested in women 20 to 22.
That's kind of brutal, if you think about it. Like for women that get older, that is a brutal reality to have to live in.
I think we all knew that though. Something I don't think most men realize is that the prime demographic they're interested in, 20 to 22-year-old women, are most interested in 21 to 25-year-old guys. That's your peak, guys. It's not your early 30s, and it's certainly not 38. It is worth noting that as a man, you'll receive the most attention from women in general between the ages of 25 to 30.
See, what's a little bit different about this, in my personal opinion, now this is my opinion. I think when you get to about 25 to 35, your approach as a man becomes a little bit different, and that can make you seem more attractive. I also think a lot of this is very skewed because
You're right. Well, you're a little bit standoffish because obviously your odds for picking somebody up is a lot lower because you're competing with a lot higher quality or younger looking men, and your experience and your intellectual capabilities push you up a little bit to make you actually perceive yourself as a better quality choice to the woman without you even knowing it.
most men at the age of 30, like 75% of them, are extremely out of shape. If you're a man and you take care of yourself, when you look at professional weightlifters, professional bodybuilders in terms of physique, you actually peak around the age of 30 till about 34, right? So if you're a man and you're not in that 75% of men that just let themselves go, you have some stability. Your approach to women is a little bit different because, to be honest, you're less desperate for coochie. And the less desperate you are, or at least the less desperate you're perceived to be, the easier
Right, these women, I mean, who knows my dick better than me?
will
I
be
do.
for you to get, attention. So
It's not even about that, Never mind, another time, another place.
yeah, I think that as a man, if you take care of yourself, this could be significantly skewed, but I am also 30, so this could also just all be cope, right? Time humbles everybody. If you're a woman and you think you 20, 22, 23, and you think you got it all made and you're going to get all the attention forever, time humbles everybody. If you're a man and you think you have all the athletic prowess in the world, by the time you hit 35, 40, we going to see about it, right? So it just humbles everybody.
It essentially means men have two primes. A first prime from the ages of 21 to 25, when prime women 20 to 23 are most attracted to you. And a second prime from ages 25 to 30, when you get...
I'm gonna say the man's first prime is more so 16 to like 21 in his head, because he doesn't necessarily know the reality of the world. He thinks he's on top of the world and he thinks he could do anything he wants, but he will soon realize later on, when he's trying to figure himself out and get to the point of where the 30-year-old is, he was actually being correct by saying that.
the most attention from women overall. I think it's also worth pointing out that even women start wanting to date a little younger as they get older. Dating truly is a younger man's game, and despite men seeming to age better in women's eyes than women do in men's eyes, Father Time continues to stay undefeated. Now, there's one more thing in the What Makes You Click study I want to show you.
Father Time was the three-peat Lakers, dog, and he never lost. The Spurs never came to be.
When reading through the study, I found this. The researchers concluded that both men and women's height preferences depend on their own height. Basically, being shorter than a woman will on average make you be seen as significantly less attractive than a man of the same height as her.
Goes that
And
being
in
said,
a whole nother category than men taller than her. I don't think this is too surprising, but here's something I think will be. Yes, this is men's height preferences for women. Outside of being reversed, men prefer women shorter than themselves. Men's height preferences for women are nearly identical to women's height preferences for men.
Yeah, but what I think is interesting is in the real world, to me personally, it seems like shorter dudes always do better with taller women.
Well, yeah.
Like, in my...
I think you're right, because it's more of like a settling thing, and maybe it could be chemistry that we don't know about, but a shorter man, I feel like, shoots his shot a lot more often and will throw a lot more lines in the water and catch the taller fish too. You know, he don't give a fuck. Because he's already dealing with most women that are taller than him, so what's another inch or two? Don't ask a woman that.
Like, I feel like shorter dudes, generally speaking, do better with women that are a little bit taller than them. I think that a shorter guy does better with a 5'10" woman than he will a woman that is his exact same height. I could be wrong about that. Obviously, the data shows that guys prefer whatever they say they prefer, and women prefer what they say they prefer. But just from what I observe, it looks like shorter guys actually tend to do a little bit better with taller women.
Which makes sense when you think about it. Would you want to date a girl 5 inches taller than you?
Is everything proportional on a woman that height? Like, are you throwing a hot dog down a hallway regardless of what size you are? Let me know in the comments, because I never been with a woman that height. I'm 6'1". That would have to be 7'8". But I mean, I'd never been with a woman that big, or taller than me, actually, for that matter.
He tripping.
Women feel the same way.
Yeah, he
about
is.
dating men.
That's
Short.
crazy.
Although men and women think similar in regards to height, one thing they don't think similar in regards to is divorce. A commonly thrown around statistic is
Because men get fucking burned in divorce, that's why. So they're gonna hold on to the relationship because they want to hold on to their assets. I bet you I just word for word to that motherfucker.
that women initiate 69% of divorces. But
Because they gain assets.
here's another stat that makes it even crazier. If we look at the percentage of same-sex divorces that are male-male versus female-female, we see that female-female relationships are responsible for 78% of same-sex divorces.
Because females are harder to deal with than males. When you have a male, you're more bending, like, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, let's do this. Okay, I guess we'll meet in the middle. Where a woman's like, no, me, I want, and then they butt heads, and then nobody's willing to bend. So they end up literally getting a divorce.
Female-female marriages are more common than male-male ones, though. 55-45 split. So,
I always said that. Once again, I'm not gay, and there's nothing wrong with being gay, but whenever I had like a problem or got in a fight with my girl or something like that, I'd be like, man, I wish I could just date a dude so I could just punch him in the fucking mouth when I get pissed off and we get in a fight. It's just like, it'd make a lot more sense, I guess, because that would settle a lot more things.
we have to adjust for this. After we adjust for the differences in relationship commonality, the relative split of same-sex divorces are 69% women, 31%
so the
men.
same thing.
Despite men and women not even being involved in each other's relationships, the divorce percentages remain the same.
Yeah, they also said the incidences for domestic violence for female-to-female relationships are significantly higher than male-to-female relationships, and even higher than male-male relationships.
Pretty unbelievable, right? The current common hypothesis is this is due to trait neuroticism, which measures one's sensitivity to negative emotions.
Right.
If you take a random man and woman, the woman will be more sensitive to negative emotion, more neurotic, 62% of the time.
Interesting.
This is why women are commonly seen as more
he's interesting. Come on, bro. You knew that. Come on, interesting.
volatile, both sub
Must be trying to appeal to that tall girl, eh?
characteristics of neuroticism. What this means for divorce, though, is that in 62% of relationships, the woman will feel the problems in the relationship more than the man will, which explains a large...
The woman will think that she feels the problems more, and then make it known that she is feeling a problem more than a man who could just probably deal with it by themselves without it being said out loud, and have it be somebody else's problem.
Portion of this seemingly astonishing statistic.
Well, it explains why, historically speaking, no-fault divorce wasn't a thing, because they understood this. But also, too, I think that women have significantly less on the line when it comes to divorce. I think that women are damn near incentivized, I dare say damn near bribed by the state into divorce, because they have so little, they will lose so much less than they will gain. If there was a rule where if you file for divorce outside of abuse and outside of extramarital affairs, as a woman you leave with nothing, I guarantee you there'd be significantly less women filing for divorce. Especially if that meant you didn't get his retirement, you didn't get his money, you didn't get his house, and you didn't get the kids. I definitely believe that, because when women have stakes, they can control their neuroticism. When a woman is at work, she has no problem obeying her boss, even when she feels neurotic, because if she leaves that job, she leaves with nothing. Imagine if you quit your job and you continue to get a paycheck after quitting your job. That's essentially what no-fault divorce is. And it's like, yeah, well, if you incentivize that behavior, of course, you're going to get more of it, right? And I think, historically speaking, socially, we understood that aspect of it, so there was no such thing as no-fault divorce.
And there you have it. 8 charts that...
I mean, I didn't really learn anything here. Nothing surprised me, really. The only thing that I really messed up was the little, whatever he referenced as the Milky Way galaxy chart. But like I said, I just support this guy over here. I like hearing his commentary. He's entertaining. Homeboy shooting the video, good video, yes. But I can't criticize. But I just say pick up the tempo a little bit. Stop talking so monotone. Why am I criticizing these people? These people are smoking me as far as YouTube and everything like that. But it's positive criticism. I'd be open to anything that they say too.
Hopefully change the way you see dating and relationships. If you find this kind of stuff interesting, subscribe to my newsletter down below.
Nice. To be honest, though, it doesn't really change the way I see dating.
Same. See, he's gonna say exactly what I said.
Similar to how I did before. Almost nothing on here surprised me. It all seems like it's just common sense. But usually, if you say these things, people will try to call you names or say bad things about you because they.
I agree. All right, let's find something else to watch here. Where do we go? We got Myron. Sneeko had posted a video. What is it? Cool, the aesthetics marks. These guys are they're hurting. I mean, they're eating up that drama that happened with them, and I don't know. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to piss people off or anything or push anybody away. I will dedicate streams to that, but they're just talking about it too much, man. They're talking about it too much. It's just too much. Oh, Myron's going live. He's already posted it up at 10 o'clock. He's going live tonight at 10. Nick Fuentes, he posted a video. Well, Purge Vilo did, which is the guy that reacts to him. If anybody ever heard of Clinton Jaws, I love Clinton Jaws. This is going to be a little bit of a political video here, but I love this dude, man. He is my boy. Clinton Jaws here. We're going to smoke some cigarettes and we're going to drink some wine and we're going to watch The View. It's going to be a little bit political, but he's good. I enjoy watching him. And if you haven't seen him before, hopefully I can open your eyes to him. Let's just get this video on here. Momento.
The overdue collapse of overpriced coffee. Is this an issue like at Starbucks on the decline? Every Starbucks I go to, it looks like the drive-thru is pretty much full.
Starbucks is in trouble.
It's announcing a $1 billion restructuring plan this morning in an SEC
OBS,
filing.
man. It's a lot harder than I thought it was. You know?
900 non-resident employees, and as you
Good old Clinton Jaws here.
There's a lot of money out there that someone has illegally. Now, we got some breaking news, Paul. I want to get to that on a Fox News alert because moments ago, remember that church incident on Sunday in Minneapolis?
It's happened. They've arrested for this.
Good. This pissed me off. That video pissed me off a lot. And I am not a fan of Don Lemon whatsoever, but I think he's taking they're making a what is it? Fuck, drawing a blank. They're making him the wow. 40 people rob a store, they're going to throw the book at him. You know, when they catch one person, he's going to throw the book at him. They're going to make an example out of him. Why couldn't I think of that? What the hell, man? So yeah, I don't, besides televising it and projecting it to the world and making us aware of it, we wouldn't even know this happened, you know? So he's in the wrong, but I don't think he's more in the wrong than anybody else. except for when the if you haven't seen the video, he interviews the priest, and the priest is like trying to push him away, like I got shit to do today, you know, you guys just fucking steamed in on service, and he's like, please don't push me, as he's actively leaning in closer and closer to him. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
I had no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until
yes, you did.
We followed them there. We were there chronicling protests.
You didn't know they were going to that specific church, but you know you were going someplace to protest.
Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism, which was report on it and talk to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the organization. There you go. So why don't you talk to the actual person who is in charge of the organization and whose idea...
This guy's ever since he got fired from what, CNN, I think it was, he's just looking for relevancy, and he stumbles upon it sometimes, but it's negative. But I guess no publicity is bad publicity, right?
Was to have the protest.
Until you get the most ironic thing in the history of America. It's a new achievement. It's a black man was arrested for, he was charged with, what was it, the KKK Act? A black man was charged with the KKK Act on Martin Luther King Day. Woohoo! Mind blown.
At the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea.
Don't go after me, go after them. Well, your wish is my command. After he played that clip, go after them, I said this earlier, about 3 or 4 days ago in an earlier video. Don't blame him, guys. Blame her. Oh man, talk about calling her out. Is there anybody more slimy? Talk about throwing a friend under the bus. I'm a beautiful black homosexual male. She's the real culprit, my buddy. Oh, and I'll show you. They are friends. Don Lemon does 6 hours of recording. He thinks he's a journalist, but what he really did was, he did 6 hours of showing people, including him, commit crime, committing offenses.
He did 6 hours of journalism? He was in that church for what, 10 minutes? I haven't seen any part of the other part, except for when they met in the parking lot, and then him whining like a little baby afterward.
What we're about to see is the reason why Bondi is now arresting these people.
And we all have the address, right?
Yes. Everybody has the address? Yes. Remember, if you have anything that is activist identifying, do not wear it in if you're going in to just sit down and be a part of the situation. Yeah, don't all sit together. So if you are a white...
Wait a second. Don't let it be known that you are protesting. What? I gotta run it. What the hell did she just say? I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because making sense of it is just gonna make me fry my wrist.
Yeah, don't all sit together. So if you are a white ally, again, if you have anything activism identifying, do not go in with the first wave. You wait until you come in with us as people of color.
She wants to flank the fucking people.
Okay.
But there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here. So
you're using the white man so you get access to a church?
Thank you guys thanks for allowing me to be.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Levy Armstrong.
How are you?
Good.
To see you.
Why are you recording me?
We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you.
Did he kiss her?
I'm
sorry.
We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but
what a great friend.
Tell us why you're doing this.
Is he
This is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation.
Operation Pull Out?
We
tell her husband
that. Somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. We've had a lot of success with the times we have done Operation Pull Up.
Yeah.
After George Floyd was killed, we went to the Police Federation heads home and stage a demonstration there. We also went to the head of the U.S. Marshals from Minnesota after Winston Smith was killed by the U.S. Marshals. We went there after...
It didn't do much because this is the first time I'm hearing about this group. I mean, I just kind of put this group in with everybody else that just disrupts for no fucking reason.
Dante Wright was killed when AG Keith Ellison refused to take the case. And we forced the prosecutor who lived in Stillwater to take the case by showing up there 4 times.
What a hero.
So this is our next action.
That's who Don was talking about. Don't go after me, go after her, my friend who was on the show. And guess what the police did?
Well, she was the organizer.
That's exactly what they did, Donnie. This happened 1 hour ago. Take a look. Remember ivermectin and Joe Rogan calling out the establishment a few years back? And then bam, million...
I know we're supposed to listen to their ads as to show homage to them, but can I mute it? I don't really want to hear about ivermectin, horse geek. I can take some time to say, hi guys, go ahead and like the video if you're enjoying the live stream. I'm gonna cut it up, repost it afterward. Just trying to make a name for myself, get some traction. I had a nice video, hit 1,000 views the other day. Pretty proud of it. That kind of gave me a little bit more motivation. But I haven't been doing this long, and I don't want to tell you exactly how long, because I know people have been doing it every single day of their lives for almost a year before something pops. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. I had my cigarette ready to smoke a cigarette with Jaws, but I guess he's not smoking cigs or drinking wine today. But I'm gonna smoke my cig.
$3.50 per tablet.
Go give Clinton some love in a video too, please. If you don't like, you gotta show love, make a community around here. We're all one, we all stream, we all, I guess, raise awareness like this group is in a church.
Hey, at twc.health/Clinton. Use code Clinton and get $30 off. That's twc.health/Clinton. Use code Clinton, get $30 off. USA residents only.
There's a lot of money out there that someone has illegally. Now, we got some breaking news, Paul. I want to get to that.
Break.
I might react to the Nick Shirley at Congress next.
Fox News alert, because moments ago, remember that church incident on Sunday in Minneapolis?
Kinda.
The AG Pam Bondi posted this, all right? I'm reading now. Minutes ago, at my direction, HSI and FBI agents executed an arrest in Minnesota. So far, we've arrested Nikema. So far. Okay, we'll come back to that. So far, we have arrested Nikema Levy-Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. We will share more updates as they become available. Listen loud and clear. We do not tolerate attacks on places of worship.
It's against the law.
I want you to react to that, Paul.
It's against the...
But on Monday, Trish McLaughlin was on with Dana and me.
Juicy legs.
And part of her answer said, I think we will be seeing mugshots very soon. She was tipping her hand that arrests were on the way, and this is the first one that's been made.
Yeah, and you know, look, there's going to be very, very little that they can do in defense of this, because it's on film, and for once they didn't cover their faces. Now here is the thing that's going to come out of this. You have her under arrest, now you're going to get the communications. And this is where it starts to spider web out.
And she's going to roll over on her superior, and then it's just like they do with drug dealers. Get the little guy selling fucking weed on the corner, and eventually they roll over on their commanders because they don't want to go to jail, because jail fucking sucks. I would or would not know. I don't know. I don't know what prison's like. Never. I never say never, but I do know.
You start to see who's talking to who's...
For those who don't know the difference, jail is short term, where you're either awaiting trial or you have a short sentence from anywhere from like 2 days to 2 years. Prison is where you go for your murders, your grapes, that's the first time I said it. Every time I heard it on YouTube, I'm like, I'll never say that. But I said it. It's on the bingo card now. Grape. I love it. There was a good, I have to give a shout out to Decoy Voice. He, instead of saying, suck my dick, he said, inhale my front tail. That was hilarious. That was a good one. It took me a second to get it, but it was a good one. Shout out to Decoy. I like Decoy a lot. He does good work.
Showed up in regard, including Don Lemon. How much did they all know going in? That imports things like conspiracy charges, which can be quite heavy. There's criminal civil rights charges that are implicated in the church incident.
This is also because one of the things that we found out about that was that they were targeting them because they were privileged white
supremacists?
We talked about that earlier in the week. Not only did that come out in the video and that they said something like that in the church, but then after the fact, Lemon talks about exactly that, putting a racial overtone in the whole thing, which potentially could import a hate crime. So this
There's
was
another
really
thing about
badly
this, the woman that they've just arrested. I talked a little bit about this on the 5 yesterday because Cam Cawthorn, he writes for Fox Digital, and he had a piece about her. So she's been doing professional protesting and organizing for a long
Normally Clinton Jaws does a little bit more commentary here. I'm surprised he's letting him talk so much.
time. She gets a lot of grants from different nonprofits, and she's always made more money.
You know what? When I heard about all this Somali fraud, I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of kids, but shit, I'm gonna have to open a daycare.
Than she has spent. So like, there's a financial incentive.
How do you do, like, as far as that, well, what do you, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Not right now.
For her, there's a business model for these types of things.
We've talked about this really since I've been on the network. One of the things that I've tried to sort of bang the gong on, that I think a lot of police who do investigations see that the public doesn't see, is that there is a job, career protester. And it has developed over the last, let's say, dozen years or so into a very lucrative industry.
I would love for somebody to reach out to me. I would be willing to not be a paid protester, but I would be willing to infiltrate them. Like, fuck, again, I'm gonna forget the guy's name. He just got the Secret Service guy. I'd be willing to go and try to infiltrate him and maybe act. I don't know if I could act like that, though. I think I could be a good actor, but I don't think I could go ahead and throw out like, oh, what are you doing here, you Nazi? You fucking ice piece of shit. I don't think I can do that. I can blow a whistle.
Industry, and you have people who do this for a living, make a ton of money. Yes. They weaponize people who don't know any better to use the
$100,000 a year?
Useful idiots.
Per protest?
For any cause in the world.
Paid?
They get them out of the campuses. They grow those groups and those institutions, and then they pick out people who want to stay in that world, who don't go back to East Cupcake and get a job eventually after college. They stay in that. They become
East Cupcake. Where's that located?
The middle management, and it grows and it grows. It's very much like any other industry. The problem with it is if you...
Well, let's start fucking other side one where we go and break up those protests and you get paid. But who's paying? I ain't paying.
Dig down deep enough, you find out that there's tax money going into all of this stuff.
Yeah. Keep in mind, she said so far, so that would indicate more to come.
There's more coming.
Thank you. I mean, trespassing at a minimum. I mean, you were not invited in. That's not your property.
At the state level, where's the minute? Well, by the way, this is St. Paul. Where's the St. Paul chief of police?
Fair point.
When you do what they did, interrupt a church service, religious services, the punishment is...
Clinton Jaws used to be a police officer, so he knows what he's talking about when it comes to breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Usually a slap on the wrist, but not when they have history. And check out your history. Charged with multiple misdemeanors. Lemon, he'll get a slap on the wrist, and I hope he does. I hope he gets something. For this reason only, when he did this right here. I can't believe this is still up. The idiot stick still has it up. And he's made a ton of money off this video. The guy will do anything. Anything for it. This ain't journalism. This is clicks.
Kinda.
Recording a crime in progress.
I'm going to take you outside of the church and just show you a little bit, but...
I don't get it why he hates it, because he says, watch out, it's slippery here. Watch out, be careful, it's really slippery. Be careful. Because it shows that he has a little compassion and he doesn't? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look, he's hugging his kid.
Hugging his kid, look, he's hugging his kid.
He's gay, he likes that stuff.
And, you
not
know,
kids.
I just imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for
what are you gonna do,
people
right?
here.
He talks about it, he don't maybe really care. He acts like he cares.
But again, careful, it's very slippery right here.
Slippery.
It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please.
So he knows that it's traumatic for these people here, but yet you still participate?
Really slippery. Not...
This is where like the receptors don't fire, they don't connect, it just goes.
Kidding.
He's not kidding.
That's what protesting is about.
That's what it's about, guys. Child abuse. That's what protesting is about. Scaring children.
Traumatizing them.
That's slippery. What are you
Making
going to do?
not want to go to church ever
you see
again.
the police are here. They haven't come in yet.
With the middle finger like that.
But
I hate that.
That police are here.
And I can't believe I'm saying that about police.
And this is where folks are leaving.
Doxing the church?
Just want to show you, and that's the inside of the church there where they are.
Oh, really? You don't say.
film the kids. Get the kids. Get the
I'll
reaction.
remove my camera over so I'm not.
It's all part of
blocking
life, kids. And this is what I look forward to. Now that they got her,
let me just make it a little smaller.
Levy Armstrong, they're gonna attempt to take a statement from her. You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say may be used as evidence. Do you want to give a statement? Sometimes they say no.
Snitch.
Sometimes they say yes. If she says yes, she's going to provide evidence against Lemon. Lemon helped organize this, I guarantee it.
No, I don't think so.
And that will lead to his arrest. When they arrested her,
Hold
they
on.
probably seized her phone.
The only way that she would roll on Lemon or snitch on Lemon is if the detective coerces her there. Well, you could give me the top dog, or what about that other gentleman with the camera? Who was that? I'm a little interested about that guy. But you don't care about the boss? My boss will be more happy with Lemon, because everybody hates Lemon at this point.
Which they'll probably get a warrant for. And they'll see all the communications. Anyways, I woke up excited.
That was it.
That she got it.
That was it, Clinton. What else you got? You got anything else you want?
He's a police informant. He's a police source, guys. For his
Clinton.
buddies. Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. Got anything else on here, Bubba? What else? Let's go react to. I'm not sure where exactly the video is of Shirley. Probably on his channel, right? Probably for him in Congress. Yes, it is.
I'm here in Washington, D.C., and today I will be testifying in front of Congress. How this works is I will be testifying right here. Each person will have 5 minutes to testify. And then up here you have all of the congressmen and congresswomen. They also will have their time as well. And I'm going to be talking about the widespread fraud that's been happening inside the United States and in Minnesota. As you guys all saw.
I'm going to preface before I say this. I like Nick Shirley. I really do. I wonder if he's a little slow sometimes, though. Just seems a little... Maybe he's puffing the chi, but...
I exposed the open and blatant fraud that's taking place inside of Minnesota. And so therefore I'm here to testify.
Although, he could just be speaking slowly so he doesn't stumble over his words and da-da-da-da, which is very smart, actually.
About that. And what will happen is each one of these congressmen will have then 5 minutes to go and ask.
Or he's trying to hit that 10-minute mark so he gets those ads in there.
Any questions, and there'll be a clock on one of these screens, and for 5 minutes I have to answer all questions that are directed to me. It's almost like a shot clock in a basketball game where you have to go until the timer runs out. And really quick, the quality leering hoodies are live on the website.
Make that money, bro.
Fence. You can go ahead and get it. There's a link in the description or in the pinned comment.
I think we're going to leer a lot this video. I think we are.
Shirley,
so
you're
let's leer
recognized
something.
for your opening statement.
Awesome. I'm here today to speak on behalf of all hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens here.
Are you invited? I didn't really pay attention. Are you invited to this? Are you asked to come? Sometimes I know you're forced to come. Can you volunteer to go to Congress?
Inside of the United States. I've helped bring to light widespread fraud that's happening inside our nation, and we the people have had enough of our hard-earned money going towards fraudsters as if it's no big deal. As I speak here, I want to ask everyone a question. How much do we trust when we pay our taxes it's going to benefit our nation?
I don't really think much about it, but if I did, I don't trust it one bit.
Widespread. People erupted during the Boston Tea Party over just a few percentages as they believed they were being taxed without representation.
And what was that, 2% that they were taxed on? And now, I mean, I live in New York, so 33%-ish?
Nowadays, we have the representation, but do we trust our representatives?
No.
My name is Nick Shirley, and I made a 41-minute video that I posted on platforms like X and YouTube. My video received over 100 million views, and it created instant change in our government.
Go ahead and pitch your crypto coin while you're at it, bub.
Federal government launched investigations in departments such as Health and Human...
I'm sorry, I gotta stop being so hard on Nick. I like Nick. He's a good dude.
Services froze over $185 million in child care funding until businesses can prove they are legitimate businesses. I actually became aware of the fraud that was happening in Minnesota in June of 2025 as I was there for a separate video in Minnesota and started reaching out to me, asking me if I was making a video on the fraud. I said, well, what fraud? And this lady, she was a real estate agent, and she says, well, I'm having a hard time selling my properties because people are curious about these assisted livings that are popping up next door to some of the houses that we're buying, or the home health care clinics that are popping up, and we don't know who's next to these houses that we're trying to sell. And I said, well, I'm not going to come and make a video if I don't have any proof. So therefore, I left Minnesota. And
the juice wasn't worth the squeeze yet, huh, Nick?
Continued to look for fraud in the best way I could.
Who was the fat dude with the beard that fucking absolutely had to crash out on this poor guy? He fucking lost it. I don't remember his name. Fat something maybe, or Beard something. I don't remember his name, but he apologized and deleted the live stream afterward. It was like an hour and a half long. He was just fucking screaming.
And as I was getting my own information, a man by the name of David reached out to me and he said, hey, I have been investigating this fraud for years now. I have been driving by these child care centers. I've never seen a single child, and I have received the information from the state of Minnesota as to how much money these places are receiving.
I would like to know why. So, I personally, just as I grew up, where I grew up, everything, that nobody is absolutely genuine about like this situation where that old guy says, I've been investigating the fraud. He has an ulterior motive, or he was affected by it somehow. He didn't just happen to, just keep going and going. Like Nick, yes, he cares about it, but it also will bring him popularity, money, and fame.
I said,
not
great,
fame, but
let me come to Minnesota and we'll make this video about potential fraud that was taking place inside of Minnesota. We go
and boy did he stumble upon a gold mine by doing that.
To a daycare, and I'm instantly surprised by what we see. We arrived and it was an industrialized building, and there was 2 daycares registered at that building. And the first thing I noticed is all the windows are blacked out, and there's no footprints in the snow.
I wonder how many people actually haven't seen this video. Like, I think every single American has at least seen a clip of it.
Of any children, there's no playgrounds or any.
He said, what, 120 million views? That's what he said? That's a lot of fucking views.
That would make it look like it's a child care. But above me, a sign read, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. But there was nobody there. The doorbell did not even work. And then we continued to go to other daycares and we noticed the same pattern. No children, blacked out windows, and one daycare.
They're bad kids. They try to escape.
A learning center.
Leering.
Spelled Quality Leering Center instead of Quality Learning Center.
I'm leering a lot.
$1.9 million. Yet with that $1.9 million, they cannot even spell leering right on their sign. Governor Walz has said he's been fighting fraud in Minnesota since 2019 and said the buck stops with him. However, how long would it take for you to notice $1 million leaving your bank account and not knowing where it's going?
Motherfucker, you take $1 from my bank account, I know. And I'm putting a dispute in on it.
That's essentially
send another card
in Minnesota for years, as billions of dollars has been misplaced.
Trillions.
Meanwhile, while people like Governor Tim Walz call people like me a white supremacist, delusional conspiracy theorist, he actually decided to drop out of re-election because I believe of how deep and extensive this fraud is.
Yeah, you don't. So he's a Nazi. I think I'm getting a little too old for this job. I'm gonna drop out of the race. Have a good one, guys. Come on, bro. And talk about fucking a smoking gun.
Thank you very much.
wait. Somebody just clapped. One clap.
Of how deep and extensive this fraud is. Thank you very much. Since my reporting, the HHS department froze over $185 million, and to this day, not a single business has been able to prove proof of legitimacy.
Well, they have an issue with these feisty little guys that I think they're like the same thing as the South Park underwear gnomes, that they just come in and they got fetishes for documents that show the finance numbers and enrollments. That just gets their juices flowing.
How fast would you be proving that you are a legitimate business if you have children to actually feed and to take care of? You'd be sending that paperwork instantly. I made this video to document the widespread fraud that has been taking place, as I truly believe all fraud is bad.
Looks good in a suit.
And people like me, my generation, we're sick of...
He's also probably just a little bit slow at the moment because he has been 24/7 flying, interview, this, that, da. I wonder how long it's been since this kid has slept in his bed. I mean, I'm not gonna assume, but I probably don't have a girlfriend, and like, maybe he's got to come home. Somebody's got to go feed that cat. Cause this guy has been just going and going and going and going. He's on this podcast, that podcast, doing another video, doing this. He's talking in front of Congress. Then he's over on the PBD. He's just, I guess you gotta get it when the getting's good.
Seeing tax dollars.
He does need to take a break though, because he's got to fry himself out, or he's gonna stumble upon something that might not want to stumble upon, or a person like that dude that was screaming in his face in the video.
Go towards fraud. We just want to have the same opportunities that our fathers and our grandparents had. And when you see people making millions of dollars by committing fraud, it upsets everybody from all age demographics.
Yeah, a little bit of envy too though.
And so I hope today we can have a good conversation, and I think we can all agree that fraud is bad, and that fraud is
bad, okay?
And I wish the best for our country, and I think that's what needs to be happening, is to crack down on all forms of fraud. So thank you for having me, and God bless the USA.
Mr. Shirley, now I guess investigative journalists are known as right-wing social media influencers. So,
ain't that funny? Ain't that crazy how an investigative journalist is a right-wing Nazi? Remember what I said earlier about those receptors not firing? How I try to make sense of it all. I try to play the devil's advocate, but it just doesn't make sense. It depends on what they're investigating.
Can you confirm how many daycare centers you personally visited in Minnesota during your investigation?
During that first video, we went to around 7.
How did you select those facilities? I know you said earlier footprints.
They were all in the same building.
In the snow, but how is it that
the same hallway of the same building?
You identified those facilities to go to initially?
So the man David in the video, he had the daycares with the CCAP funding, and we just simply...
I hope he's taking care of that guy. I hope he gives him a little percentage, or he gives him a little chunk of money, because like if it wasn't for him, you know.
Drove around Minnesota and around Minneapolis area.
It took a lot of courage to do that, I would imagine. Probably more so now than what it was when you initially did it. 100 million views, you said.
Yes, over 140 million views on X alone.
So what was Mr. David's background?
X alone.
How did you connect with him, and how did he call you, or did you reach out?
He simply is just a man in Minnesota who has a passion for his city. He's been seeing fraud taking place for years, and out of all the thousands of messages I get on Instagram and other platforms, I just happened to read his, and he provided me the information, so I gave him a phone call.
And then from there, just went to those different facilities. What was probably the most interesting thing as you were doing this? I think I saw the video. We watched it, and it looked like it was a number of facilities like in the same building.
Yes. So in one building, there was, I believe, 3 daycares, and there was no children, and they were all receiving CCAP funding for separate daycares. There's one daycare we went to that one day it was closed by the government, and then that same day it was reopened underneath another name.
Oh!
They both received CCAP funding.
So how many
How do they get the paperwork to go through that fast?
We think are fraudulent right now.
I can't get a call back from support for fucking 19 days. How do they get the paperwork to process that fast? They must know a guy that steals paperwork at night.
Shirley, any idea? Or the amount of money total? You get any idea on that?
Well,
trillions.
They've frozen over $185 million, and not a single business has been able to prove that they're a legitimate business yet.
It's $185 million for sure that we know.
Mr. Shirley, thank you for your testimony today and the work that you've done. You know, Americans hear these.
I'm glad they give this guy his flowers, because he did some good shit for us, man. He also technically he's got the country up in an uproar, but it's for the greater good.
Numbers.
Because how long is this going to go on for, man? If he didn't do it, who was going to do it? The old man that cared about it, showed him about it, he's going to pass away soon, so it would just die with him. Like, it just would have went on forever.
The fraud that we have, and you know, whether it's 10,000 or 10 million or 10 billion, sometimes the numbers, you almost become desensitized to it.
Almost.
And so
you're right.
The way
you're
that
right.
you're...
When you say that, he embezzled tens of millions, or he embezzled tens of thousands, it's like, the same way you do, it's just the number.
Video was able to...
Until you see it stacked in front of you, or until it's yours. then it's a big difference.
To show people the fraud sort of in real life actually happening, I think opened a lot of eyes and has helped to catalyze a level of scrutiny that we really should have had before. So you mentioned in your testimony that you think that what you discovered in Minnesota, that this is not isolated to that state, but likely exists in other parts of the country as well, correct?
Correct.
Sure.
What makes you think that?
Well, now you're seeing, since I've posted that
I live in New York. I can't wait for him to come here. I can't wait.
video, lots of...
Not him specifically, but investigators, and see what's going on here, because like I said, 33% of my paycheck, I make I make $100, I gotta go here, bruh, here's 33. So a third of my day is literally gone.
Other people have started to go to...
And here's another bad, steering off, sorry guys. I wait tables right now, and so I haven't seen the taxes yet for no tax on tips. I hope it helps me out in my tax return, but like here's another hypothetical. If I make like say I have a $50,000 a year waiting tables, normally like my taxes are like $600-700. I don't have any kids, and I don't really own much, but it's like tax returns are like $2,000-3,000. If I had a kid, it'd be like $8,000-9,000. What's to stop me from doing this shit, fraud shit? Actually, no, I won't do it.
Other locations, for instance in Ohio,
I don't do that
or
stuff.
in Maine or in California, they're also seeing the similar fraud.
That's a good boy.
Other daycares, for instance, in a lot of other locations.
Yeah, I have a particular interest in California, being from that state, and we know there's been a lot of fraud. There was $32.6 billion.
Anybody seen Newsom fucking, like, how could you, the president fucking shit on everybody at that forum. Oh my God, legendary. By the way, did you know we're getting Greenland? But then Newsom right afterward called him all sorts of names. I wish Trump walked up behind him and just bat. Good night, go to sleep, motherfucker.
Confirmed in unemployment insurance fraud.
I wish he could do something about this shit. Like anybody that, but then I guess that kind of turns into like you can't free speech. Like these people that just talk, well, not even talking shit, but they're just lying. And how do you, man? Some people maybe just don't make their own assessments and they just hear and then bleh.
There's 1.2 million fraudulent community college applications. Have you gotten any sense, or have you seen any signs there that sort of are similar?
Wait, fraudulent community?
No, there's been a lot of fraud. There was $32.6 billion that's been confirmed in unemployment insurance fraud. There's 1.2 million fraudulent.
That's fucked up, because I had a short period of time where I tried to apply for unemployment, and boy, did I get shot down. And that's not even going on food stamps because I ain't got no kids. But for unemployment, they oh, you're making this. Let me see this. I got poked and prodded and this and that, and then I didn't qualify because I made too much and this and that.
Community college applications. Have you gotten any sense, or have you seen any signs there that sort of are similar to what aroused your suspicions in Minnesota?
Yeah, and fraud in California might be worse than the fraud in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, it's
what
huge.
It's
the biggest state.
Well, $24 billion were missing for homelessness.
I was gonna say homelessness.
They've been trying to build this.
But the homelessness, the reason it multiplied and whatever is that Benny saw Christina over there on the corner. She's still getting high. She's got a pocket full of money, and it looked like a easier life than him going to fucking mop the floor for $20 an hour and making the same amount. So why not just take advantage of that and do what he wants to do and hang out and do drugs, rather than actually putting in a hard day's work and then having the tax man come in and take your money away from you. It's just we're building we're building our house on unstable land, and the blocks are shaky, and they're like what is China use, the tofu drag. And so then when you get to the roof and you're actually working your way up and you're doing the right thing and you're building the house, it just all of a sudden crumbles, because you see the different trades coming in. All right, I'm gonna stop with the analogy. We need to stop doing this shit.
Trained for years, yet there's hardly anything to prove for that. Fires.
Yeah, those are good points. So you look at.
You haven't really found out what happened with
a couple
fires.
of those, because
Have they rebuilt any of the houses? I know that I seen Adam Carolla. I am pausing the video an awful lot, and we're losing track of what's happening. But Adam Carolla did that video a long time ago where you're not even allowed to build, and there's been no building going on. And I vividly remember when Trump had that meeting with the the lady that went to Dominican Republic or Ghana or something right afterward, that she's like, well, you need to go through the red tape, you need to do this. And he goes, no, they need to come in, they need to clean up their own houses if they want to, so let them fucking do it. And she's like, yeah, sure, I guess. And then nothing has been done, man. These poor people.
You mentioned the areas where we have confirmed fraud.
Did they at least pay out insurance policies?
But then you also have these areas where you have so much spending, and then we look at what results from that spending.
Benny Johnson actually uncovered like a open parking lot the other day where it had like, what, 50 registered voters or 20-something registered voters. I didn't see anybody. I mean, I guess homelessness is a big problem out there, but I don't think that they were in an open parking lot.
And there's nothing. So $24 billion in
I don't think you can register an open parking lot as your home address either.
homelessness, and yet the homeless population went up, and a state audit found that they couldn't even figure out where the money went or what the outcomes linked
In
to that
Newsom's multi-million-dollar mansion
and
and
it's
his
kind of a red
pocket.
flag for you.
Yeah, it's a
plastic
major red
surgery.
flag, and you don't even have to be smart to be able to know that that's a red flag.
Well, unfortunately, our state legislators haven't managed to figure that out, or at least the
Because they're
governor
getting
hasn't. So what are
paid
you
too,
saying
man.
about it?
Everybody gets paid as it goes.
They're not smart.
It's like you say you go to reprimand an employee for coming or for stealing, and then this employee's like, well, you know, I may or may not have stolen, but here's $100. Shh. And then it's like, well, you do it often. Then it's like, well, here's $100 every time, and then that just goes up and up and up and up, and everybody just greases their palms, and then you end up with this.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's so obvious, and that's what we saw in Minnesota is how complicit the government has been in enabling this fraud to happen. Quality Learning Center had over 90 violations, yet they continue to give that daycare $1.9 million.
Yeah, that's a great point. That there
Is there even fucking 90 check marks on the inspection sheet? What the fuck? Is there like a kid just sitting his head in the toilet and fucking covered in shit, and there's a dog that's hungry that has rabies circling around him? How do you violate the shit 90 times?
there's the political accountability just hasn't been there, and that's what enables it to
Absolutely not. I would like to go into politics because not only would I like to, because I think I can make a difference, but I want to see how it works. I want to see like how they actually make shit happen. And it's just you get bribed, and then you lose sight of what you originally started.
Continue. So then you
Because you got to, in order to make what you want happen, you got to make John happy. But then John wants to make Billy happy, and then Billy, and then you're doing again. You're over here trying to fix the lamp post, and now billions in fraud is being taken by daycares.
mentioned the high-speed rail as well. So there has been about $18 billion spent so far. No track has been laid, and not a single passenger has ridden the train. So when you spend $18 billion,
I would volunteer. This is totally random. I'd volunteer to go to Greenland. No, I wouldn't. Greenland's cold as fuck. But I'd like to go and be part of the civilization that builds up Greenland for America, just like I would for Mars.
on a train and there's no train, does that raise
That was so fucking random.
suspicions for you?
Yes.
So you think
I only thought about it because he said lay the track.
that's might be something worth looking at?
For sure.
We also had a $650 million 911 service that they scrapped after 6 years, so absolutely no value.
Did you know that 911 takes $1 out of your phone bill every single month? That's a lot of money.
Maybe that's another example where there might at least
911 operators piss me off sometimes. It's like, ring, ring, 911, what's your emergency? Hi, Billy just had his head chopped off. It is over there, and his body's over there. Well, could you go give him CPR, please? Could you sit by him and see if he is okay? Ma'am, he's dead. Just send somebody out here. Could you give me the dimensions of his body and let me know his home address, please? Ma'am, I gotta go. I got shit to do today. He's dead. Get here. Here's the address. Well, could you stay there and ask Billy if he's okay? Could you do CPR?
these be questions?
I think you got a lot in California.
All right, well, we'll look forward to seeing what you find. We're certainly trying to use whatever tools we have here to bring more accountability in California as well.
Mr. Shirley, have you
Accountability.
seen any evidence? You said twice today that $185 million of recipients, not one of them has been able to demonstrate that they are a legitimate business.
No, in fact, they're actually actively suing the HHS to prevent.
Wait.
Not one of them has been able to demonstrate that they are a legitimate business.
No, in fact, they're actually actively suing the HHS to prevent handing over any information.
Right, so they don't even want to.
So that's a perfect example of you prove you're having a debate and or argument if you're on the left, and you are proven wrong. You're proven wrong. You have no answer. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. That's when they go, Nazi! Fascist!
Like give the information that would be required of an audit, that would be required from a separate independent investigation. They want a court to intervene and enjoin and prevent them from having to respond to this kind of investigation. Is that correct, Mr. Shirley?
That is correct.
Thank you.
My head is hurting because of this, just trying to make sense of this all. Just blame the underwear gnomes for all that stuff. I'm gonna probably end the stream there for now. I watched a couple videos with you guys. Had a good time actually. Very chit-chatty today. Had good commentary. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm gonna cut these up into clips and videos, post them up after I grab a little bite to eat. Thank you everybody for being here. If you could, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and stay tuned for some more because we're gonna keep doing this. Because I would like to continue doing this rather than wait tables. You know, you can only bring coffee and decaf coffee so much to old